Welcome, I'm the Deadwoodjedi. This is going to be a Diablo Immortal video, the very first one I'm going to do. And I figured to start things off, I should cover kind of an overview of the game, what to expect from it, what the different areas of the game are, and how much is available for us to do within the game. I think you all are going to be really impressed with what should be available once this game is released on June 2nd. Now, before I get into all that, I do want to remind you guys, or actually just ask you guys, if you have the time, please hit that subscribe button. I need to get to that 1,000 sub mark, just so I can get this channel off the ground and running and continue to provide quality content like this, at least what I hope is quality content for you guys out there, so you can do your Dungeon Immortal runs, you can have your gameplay go just a little bit smoother. So in this video, I'm not going to cover the main storyline. I don't want to spoil that for those of you that are really looking forward to hearing that for the first time in the game. But what I do want to talk about are some of the different areas of the game that you can approach once you complete that main storyline quest, and give you kind of an overview of, you know, the different things that you can do in this game, because there is a lot of content available in this game for us to do, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Part of the joy of this game is it has a very high replayability factor to it. So you're not going to get tired of this game after playing for a couple hours. This is basically going to be a console quality game on your phone. With that said, let's go ahead and talk about the different parts of this game. Now, if you're a veteran of the Diablo franchise, you're well aware of how the game works. It's going to be just like any of the other versions of Diablo that we've seen in the past. Basically, it's an ARPG. You're going to run around and kill a bunch of monsters, and that's really a lot of fun. But one of the best parts about Diablo are two things, really. One, it has a really unique loot system where you're constantly grabbing more and more gear, leveling it up, you know, enhancing it in different ways with gems and other abilities and things, and making your character stronger overall that way, in addition to just leveling your class as it is. On top of that, it's really fun because you can play with friends. It does have a lot of MMO facets to this game, especially the mobile version. I think even more so than you might have seen from many of the console versions like Diablo 2 or Diablo 3. And this is going to be a lot of fun. This is one of the few co-op couch games that I really recommend and I really love. That's why I got into Diablo 3 when it came out, and I'm excited to be able to cover this one here for you guys. One of the other great things about the Diablo franchise, it has a really immersive and detailed story, and so it makes the gameplay really fun even for a very casual player. So once you start out, it's generally going to be an adventure run. You're going to go from point A to point B, following the story along, killing a bunch of mobs on the way, and finishing up by taking out the boss of whatever stage, level, or dungeon that you're currently fighting until you complete the game. At that point, you're going to want to go ahead and start leveling your champion to make them as OP as possible and be able to compete in a variety of the events that are offered in this game, including PvP and some really cool MMO kind of mechanics. So your daily grind is going to start with the bounties, and bounties are going to be available in town on the bounty board, and you can get up to 8 per day, and that can stack over 3 days worth. So if you miss a day, you don't have to worry about it. You can pick it up the next day or the day after. It does reset every week, so you don't want to wait too long when you're doing that. Now, the bounties are going to be daily activities, right? You can go and kill a bunch of monsters or pick up a bunch of random dropped loot from them. Whatever that is, you can go do that, defeat somebody. Whatever the bounty is, you just accomplish those tasks, you come back to town, you get your reward, which is great. And along the way, you're still getting XP, you're still getting loot drops, and you're still getting resources that fall from those monsters. So it is a pretty easy thing to do. It should take you about an hour, maybe less than that, to complete every single day. One of the best parts, though, and this is a great thing you'll see throughout this game, is you can team up with allies. So you can go around in a group of up to 4, share the bounties that you guys are completing, and do it in a much faster time, or at least in a more fun time. And this is one of the things with Diablo in general, but Diablo Immortal specifically, is there's a lot of ways to be able to work with allies. Doing things solo, you don't have to do that at any point in this game. You can always work with a team and a group. And sometimes even just traveling around solo, you'll end up meeting up with other people, and it's a great way to, you know, make new friends and make new acquaintances in game and out of game. Now, doing those bounties don't preclude you from doing other parts of this game, and a lot of times you're able to actually stack those runs on top of each other. So while you're doing your bounties, you can still go out and farm dungeons or farm the Elder Rifts, and these are probably the main areas where people are going to farm. Now, the dungeons are going to be great because that's going to be where you're going to get those set item bonuses, right? You're going to get those set pieces where you put 2 or 3 pieces of this set on your champion. You're going to have extra bonuses added to it, and that's always going to be important for your end game builds. The Elder Rifts are going to be a little bit different. This is where you're going to get primarily your legendary gems, and this is probably the most impactful and important gear upgrade that you can get for your characters. And so you're going to be doing a lot of Elder Rift farms, and Elder Rift farms are great because you can do them anytime, as much as you want, kind of like dungeons, really. And what's great about that is you're going to still get gear, you're still going to get experience, a lot of things are still going to drop for you that you're going to want, but the big thing is going to be getting those legendary gems. And you know, obviously, to increase your chance of getting those gems, you're going to be using these crests that you get to up the magic find rate, basically, and the chance of getting these awesome rewards out of it. So on top of those daily grind elements of bounties, dungeons, and Elder Rifts, we also have challenge rifts, and these are more specialized, right? There's going to be 100 levels within these challenge rifts, and basically you're going to be trying to clear them as quick as you can. They're going to offer you great rewards, so you're definitely going to want to do them, and the runs aren't going to be super long. You need to do them in under 10 minutes to get the rewards anyway, so it's going to be still a pretty good time to be able to get that. These are actually really similar to greater rifts in Diablo 3, if you're familiar with that game. Now, the cool thing, there are going to be leaderboards for this. So if you're the fastest doing this in a solo run, you're going to get your name on that leaderboard and some extra rewards. Same thing with group runs, though, as well. So as I said, in this game, you can do anything solo, but you can also do it as a group, and that makes for a lot more fun generally. And basically what's going to happen in these challenge rifts is you're going to fight a mob of enemies until the Rift Guardian appears and then take him down. It's a pretty simple idea and mechanic, but it can be a lot of fun, especially as the difficulty scales and you're having to challenge yourself further and further to get higher and higher on that board. Now, another event that pops up from time to time, and you're probably going to see in a lot of these while you're doing your bounties periodically, are these zone events. And these happen at the top of every hour. And they're going to be able to drop this unique resource, Enchanted Dust, which is going to be really important for you to upgrade your gear. And basically what happens is a big boss that kind of roams around the zone, and anybody in that zone can participate in it. So if you've come across one of these, that's the time to call your buddies and say, hey, get on over here, let's get some extra loot. And can be a really fun experience in that way. Now, all of those previous things we've talked about have been seen in previous Diablo games. I don't think any of that is particularly unique. What is going to be unique for Diablo Immortal is we're going to have 2 other elements. We're going to have the Shadows versus the Immortals, which is kind of like a huge MMO competition thing, as well as PvP in the Battleground, which is like an 8v8 player versus player competition. And I think both of these are really cool. The Battleground one is you're going to be going in this map. You're going to be an attacker or a defender. You're going to compete with 7 other of your friends or just, you know, people that you happen to join up with, and you're going to fight other players in real time. That's going to be a real fun mechanic, I think. I think this game, with the classes we have, with the, you know, the abilities and the skills, is going to make a very unique PvP kind of experience. Obviously, PvP is never for everyone, but it is going to be a fun change of pace for this game and provides a lot of longevity as those metas are going to be constantly shifting throughout. And then you have the Shadows versus the Immortals, and this is, I think, a really cool mechanic where basically you have the top clan or the top 3 clans on the server are becoming the Immortals each week, and they have to then defend their crown, and they're going to be going through a variety of daily activities in order to maximize the rewards they get for being the Immortal. And it's going to take a lot of advanced communication. There's going to be a lot of Discord servers and clan elements in here that are going to be very, very important to making this happen. But the rewards are huge. I think up to a 200% magic find bonus, which is just massive. So you're going to be able to get a lot better gear by being in the Immortals. And then On top of that, you're going to also have some kind of unique bonuses like naming the server. How cool is that? Having your name permanently enshrined on the server itself as an immortal. These are things that are really cool mechanics. Or you could be the shadow, which means that you are competing to then overthrow those immortals and take the immortal crown thereafter. So there's a lot of fun different MMO mechanics in here, as well as the traditional adventure RPG type of things. So as you can see, this game has a lot to offer, and there's a lot of fun stuff going on in it. It can actually be a bit confusing, and studying up on it, I've had to read things over and over and over. If you're looking for more information, and this is where I got a lot of my information, I would recommend you go head over to maxroll.gg. They have a lot of information on Immortal, Diablo Immortal, and I think it's going to be really helpful for you guys. Or you can subscribe to this channel and stick around and wait for the next video that I put out, which should go into more depth on each of these different areas of the game. I'll be breaking down all the classes. I'll be breaking them down into tier lists. I'll be telling you how to, farm when you first start, so you know exactly what you're doing when you get into the game if you're a power leveler. I'm going to be talking about all this stuff. I might even do a video on the overall story with spoilers attached, of course. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to be doing this content here, and I'm really glad you guys are here along for the ride, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.